welcome back everyone. Hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm filming a houseplant tour for you, and I was going to show you some of my favourite plants around the house and how they're all doing. I have downsized my collection a little bit since I last filmed because some of the plants were getting really big and I was just running out of room. Some of them need propagating, but I'll go around and show you how they're all doing. This is one of my favourite corners in the living room, and this is one of my all-time favourite houseplants, the Alocasia, which I have growing underneath a grow light here in the living room. Look at the size of this leaf here. It seems to be really happy in this position, so it's been here for quite some time. It's not too far from the window, but because it's got the grow light and because of the reflective surface of the leaves, it doesn't actually need a ton of light. So in my opinion, it's quite a easy houseplant to grow in slightly lower light conditions. I find that if they're getting too much light, the leaves will face down the way like that, as I've had them on the windowsill before and they didn't seem to like it. But as you can see, this one seems pretty happy here. It's just got a new leaf there as well. Such a beautiful, striking plant, something a bit different. And then next to it, we have my beautiful philodendron Florida Beauty. This plant also seems to be quite enjoying this spot as well, and it has outgrown both of its moss poles, so I think I need to do a bit of propagation here. It's got some beautiful variegation on some of the leaves. This leaf's huge. I've had both of these plants actually for probably about 6 years now. It must be about 6 years, but as you can see, it has outgrown the space. I think I'll wait till spring to propagate now. It's not really the right time of year to do it. And then another one of my all-time favourites here, a bit closer to the window and also under a grow light, is my Alocasia Mellow with its tough leathery leaves. It's a little bit fussy to grow. It does prefer a higher humidity environment, and I did start this plant off underneath some glass, but it's been out of the glass now for well over a year and it seems pretty happy. It's got a little bit of browning on a couple of the leaves due to lack of humidity, but all in all, it's not doing too bad. And we've got a little black velvet in here. That's a stowaway, that's not meant to be in there. When I originally purchased this plant many years ago, it was one of the most expensive plants in my collection. But recently, these are selling really cheap, and I've seen them in garden centres, on eBay, for like £10–20 for a small plant. So it's worth picking one up if you like the look of it, while they're super affordable. And it really is such a unique and eye-catching plant. Whenever I have people around, they always seem to notice this one first. There's another beautiful leaf hidden there. And then tucked away in the corner, we have my variegated burley marksy, another one of my favourites. I've had this plant for many, many years. Started off as a really small plant with a few leaves, and as you can see, it's turned into quite the monster with some really beautiful variegation. This is a really easy plant to grow, in my opinion. Just needs bright indirect light, a bit of warmth, and it doesn't seem too fussed about the humidity. This Begonia maculata YTI started off as a very small plant that was not looking its best. I found it in the reduced section at B&Q, and as you can see, it is pretty happy here by the window. I need to get it some proper supports. It's a bit wild. It is flowering at the moment, which is nice, but it seems quite happy here, right next to the patio door. And I have propagated this many times as well. Such a beautiful and unique plant. I just love the spots on the leaves. Completely different looking to all my other plants. Hello Marvin. Sorry if you can hear him in the background making a bit of a racket. He's out and about. Over on the other side by the patio doors, we've got my beautiful philodendron bilietiae with its huge glossy leaves. Again, one of my favourite plants, and this also started off as a plant with I think about 3 leaves, and it is absolutely huge. It's one of the biggest plants in my collection. In my opinion, it's been quite easy to grow, not too fussy, although this one also now has outgrown the moss pole and the leaves are coming out really small at the top because it's got nothing to hold on to. And it was only about 6 months ago that I actually gave it a new moss pole, and it's already outgrown it in 6 months. So not quite sure what I'm going to do. I think I might have to propagate this one as well. Again, I've seen these going quite cheap in the garden centres recently, so they're very affordable. I would absolutely love the variegated version. That's been on my wish list for quite a number of years, and I will definitely add one of those to my collection at some point. We've got a little soderoy here, which again has outgrown the pole. It's looking a bit spindly, but it seems quite happy here, quite close to the patio doors. Over in this corner underneath the grow light, I've got a couple of gloriosum, which have also got really big, too big for the space. And I've got a Paraiso Verde up here, which had a little accident the other day because it's outgrown its moss pole again. It toppled over and fell onto the floor, so we've got a couple of breakages here. I need to do something with that. Look at the size of this leaf here. Here in the kitchen we have a selection of plants including philodendron Florida Ghost, which needs a proper support. This was just a cutting and it has gone a bit wild. These need quite bright indirect light to get the nice white leaves. This anthurium was a gift from one of my clients about a year ago, and it's been flowering actually for a whole year, which is quite cool. Nice little pop of colour in the kitchen. These are super easy to grow. This is one of my favourite plants, the Anthurium radicans. This is a hybrid. I've had this for about 6 years, maybe a bit longer, and it's been very slow growing, but this summer it decided to have a bit of a growth spurt and produced about 3 leaves over the summer. I've also propagated this plant a number of times. This is the newest leaf here. They come out a lovely kind of burnt orange colour, and then as they mature they turn green. It has flowered a few times as well recently. This one's also got very textured leathery leaves, a bit like the Mellow. Very beautiful and unique looking. And then I've also got an Aglaonema, which I've had for quite a few years, and my vanilla orchid, which has attached itself to the ceiling, the walls. The aerial roots do go a bit wild and I have to give them a bit of a trim sometimes. And then we've got some Spanish moss here, which I usually put out in the summer into the garden, but I've brought it in now for the winter. So that's how everything is looking in the kitchen. I'm still growing a number of plants in my office. Actually, this is probably the room that has the most plants in the house. We've got quite a selection of trailing plants. Again, one of my favourites, the Alocasia cuprea. This is a smaller one than downstairs, but it's been growing in this hanging basket for about 5 or 6 years. As you can see, it's got quite a lot of leaves. I actually gave it a trim the other day. It had some yellow leaves, which I just trimmed off. It's quite far away from the window. There's no grow lights in this corner. But as I mentioned earlier, because of the reflective leaves, they can actually grow in lower light conditions. As you can see behind, my silver satin pothos, which is growing from a hanging basket here, has attached itself to the wall in multiple places, and it's shingled its way up the wall. So if I ever do need to repot that, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. It will be a bit of a mission. A bit closer to the window, we've got a beautiful Syngonium pink splash, which has gone a bit wild. This is a lovely plant to grow, especially if you like a splash of colour in your collection. The pink comes out quite vibrant when the leaf is new, and then it kind of tones down as it matures. These do like bright and direct light. It's probably not getting enough light here now that we've gone into autumn, so I might move it a bit closer to the window. I think it could also do with a little trim as well, but I'll wait till spring. Up in the corner here in a hanging basket, we've got a Philodendron Brazil. Nice and easy to grow, lovely hanging plant. A little bit of variegation. I recently gave my variegated string of hearts a trim because it was getting rather long. This plant is a type of succulent, so I do treat it like my other succulents, and it gets really bright light. It's right on the window here, especially as it's variegated as well. And I've had this plant for about, must be about 5 years. I've propagated it a number of times. I usually just propagate it in water and then just pop the cuttings back into the pot. Over on the other side of my office, I've got a shelving unit with grow lights, and at the bottom I grow my Alocasia. This is one of my favourites. This is the Maharani, which is a hybrid of the Mellow and Black Velvet. This is the Black Velvet here. This is probably a little bit easier to grow than the Mellow, but it does appreciate a higher humidity environment if possible. My Black Velvet has gone mad over the summer. It's got some lovely big leaves. We've got a fry deck there behind. Unfortunately, this Alocasia has been suffering with spider mites, which is a real shame, but it keeps producing new leaves, so I'm sure it will be fine. It'll bounce back. It just looks a little bit sad at the moment. Again, this is one of my favourites that I had on my wish list for quite some time, and then I found it, I think it was in B&Q. This is Queen of Hearts, which is looking a bit sad at the moment. This also had spider mites, and this does actually really need higher humidity. It looked much better in the summer. As you can see, the humidity in here is only 52%, so not very high at all. So that is why I keep my variegated fry deck in a glass dome. This did really well over the summer. It's not looking quite as good now, although I think it's got a few new leaves. Such a shame to have it in here because you can't really see it properly, but I had it out of the glass for quite a while and it just went really crispy. So it really does love a high humidity environment. Got a few cuttings here. Got my string of hearts, begonia. Got my variegated cacti at the back there, which was on the windowsill, but I've moved it now. At the back here, we've got a lovely Thai constellation, which is getting too big for the space. Next to the cabinet, we've got my beautiful variegated monstera, which I've had for many, many years. I've propagated it so many times. It always gives the most beautiful variegation, although at the moment it's a little bit too variegated, so I might have to chop it back a bit. Definitely one of my favourite houseplants that I've got in my collection. I've got another burley marksy here, the non-variegated version, which again started off as a small plant and it's absolutely huge now. This one definitely needs a bit of a trim, and I need to give it some proper support poles because it has outgrown the pole by quite a bit. I do have other plants dotted around the house, mainly hanging plants kind of in the bathrooms. You might remember this one from one of my very early houseplant tours. I've had this one for a long time. It actually hangs down into the bath now, so I've had to kind of tuck up some of the vines. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed my houseplant tour. Keep an eye out for my overwintering videos soon, which I'll be filming over the next few weeks. Take care, and I'll see you all soon.